Wi-Fi connected us to the world, but distanced us from those closest to us. Nowadays, we know more about strangers than even our own family. We know more about our peers, coworkers, and some distant friends and associates more than our best friends, more than our family members, because everything is through a phone nowadays. We scroll and just go mind numb. And so much of our lives is just that. It's a timeline. It's a time feed, or whatever they call it, a news feed on a social media. It's video updates on TikTok, YouTube, IG. And we don't even see that our attention is elsewhere. And we don't have the presence to our loved ones anymore, to those closest to us, our friends, our families, people in our own households, because our attention span has been depleted, basically. And there's no more eye-to-eye contact conversations. There's no more like physical presence even being felt. Most conversations are through text, through phone, through all these things. And it's crazy because now you can connect with anybody in the world. You can connect with family at a distance, the loved ones at a distance that live in a different state, in a different country. But we've also traded that physical presence away, and we traded that attention. And attention is love. Attention is care. The actual intentional act of conversation, of looking someone in the eye, of a hug, of a handshake, of a whatever it might be. And we don't even know it. It's like we're losing the human touch. We're losing the compassion. Because now you can just scroll on your phone and you can see people being murdered. You can see people being taken advantage of. You can see all this negativity. And now it's numbing us to it. Because, you know, you might have a little bit of, man, that's sad, that's happened. But it's like you're being desensitized. And I feel like our human relationships are also being desensitized. There's not as much love and care and attention that there used to be when, and I'm not trying to be the old head, I'm not trying to be the traditionalist or the person that's like old school and saying you got to sit down at the dinner table and eat and conversate. But there is no more of that if you're really thinking about it. Now, some families, some people probably do that. But overall, there's not much conversation of how was school, how was work, how are you going through things, how are you processing these things, like. And when there is those conversations, they're so far and few between that it's almost like, does this person even care? It's kind of like the corporate world and things, and people are like, how are you, how was your weekend? And it's like they don't really care. It's that just that fake conversation before they ask you, hey, can you run that report? Did you get that report done? It's kind of like the same mindset. But yeah, Wi-Fi, social media, internet, it gave us easy access to anybody. But it's feel like there's much more of a distance now. There's more distance, and families being torn apart, because there's families that argue over religion. There's families that over politics. And then there's strangers as well. So people are also arguing over religion with strangers, with politics. There's social economical divisions and things like that as well. So there's so much hate, negativity, and just consumption. Even the positive stuff, like I said, just numbing your mind while at the dinner table, while on a date. There's people, I see people on dates or out to lunch with their significant others, with their families, with their kids. They're all on a phone. They're all on an iPad. And like I said, I'm not being the old head saying you can't have that stuff, but it's just like, are there even conversations happening anymore? Are there even genuine care, love, and attention happening in the world anymore? And everybody wonders why everybody feels so lonely, why people feel so disconnected, why people divorce, why people break up, why kids are complain when they get older. Like, yeah, I didn't really have an emotional connection with my parents. They were in the house, but I didn't really get that care, love, and attention that I needed. I didn't get that intentionality to develop the relationship. And I feel like that's still going on in the world. I feel like people are still struggling with that. And we're so consumed with the virtual world. We're so consumed with our presence on social media and what's happening in the world on the social media. And half of that's not even real anyway. So how do we battle that? How do we overcome that? How do we make sure that that's not overtaking our real relationships, the things that we say we value the most, the things that we say and present is the most important thing. But if you did a time study of how much you spent on social media versus how much you spent in time with your actual family, friends, people you care about, what would that time say? And that time doesn't tell everything, but yeah, but if your screen time was 14 hours or 5 hours a day, and you're in-person FaceTime with your own family, your own wife, husband, kids is 1 hour, what does that say? Where are your priorities? Where's your intentionality? Where's your focus? Where's your attention? And like I said, I'm not the person that's judging. I have screen time. I have things that I can get better at, but I'm just presenting this as a thought exercise. And notice how, as we're more connected, as technology keeps advancing, as more people have access to internet, Wi-Fi, and the tablets, the phones, just look at how more disconnected people are, how more lonely people are, how more people are depressed, how more people are saying that they just feel like they don't have a human connection. People are dating and talking to AI. I'll leave that at that. This was Consistency Day 420. I hope this made you think. I hope this challenged you, or hope this was a fun experiment, at least a thought experiment. But other than that, I wish you all peace and blessings on the journey.